everybody, it's Christine. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do my weekly wrap-up. I read 2 plus this week. First, I finished Nora Roberts' Vision in White. This was hilarious. The friendship in it was great. The love interest was cute. It's about a girl, well, it's a quartet. So each one is about one of the friends. And this one is, what's her name? His name is Carter. Hers is Mac. So they all have a wedding planning business. Mac is the photographer, and then the other 3 do other things. And Carter is a teacher, and he is clumsy, and it's funny. It really is. They meet because his sister is getting married, and she's afraid of relationships because her mother has been married and divorced and married and divorced and married and divorced. And her mother, you just love to hate her. You want to smack her upside the head and just say, get lost. Because her mother is the type that the world revolves around her and nothing else matters but her. So, yeah. So Mac is afraid of relationships because she doesn't want to get caught up in that nastiness of divorce. I gave it a 5. It's Nora Roberts. Then I read and finished Fallen by Lauren Kate, and this is about a girl who, something happens in her past between her and a boy, and the boy dies. And you never really know, well, you do, but she ends up having to go to this reform school after going to a prep high school. And there she meets this boy, Daniel, and a whole bunch of other people. And she kind of doesn't know how to act because she's always been at this prep high school, and now she's with a bunch of reform kids. So I don't want to go too much into that. I went into it kind of blind, and I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4. I could have done without the love triangle, but in saying that, after reading the ending, I can kind of see why it was there. So I'm continuing to read The Chemist by Stephanie Meyer. I've been picking up the other books. That's why I haven't got very far in this one. But I will probably finish it soon. It is very intriguing. I did my whole entire update up to chapter, is it 15? Yeah, I think so. On my Friday reads, so if you want to hear more about it. But beware, there are spoilers. This one, I'm liking it. I don't want to say too much because it is nice to go into books blind, especially these government conspiracy mystery books. So yeah, she's just a chemist who does chemical warfare against, or not against, but she tries to thwart medical terrorism and chemical terrorism, stuff like that. But she is on the run from her former bosses because she knows too much. So, yeah. And then I'm also reading First Grave on the Right by Dorinda Jones, and you can't really see, but there is a shimmer. Sorry for the glare, but there's a shimmer on the white, and it does play into this book. This is hilarious. I love it. I will definitely be continuing on with the series, but this is about a girl who is a Grim Reaper, the Grim Reaper, and she sees ghosts, and ghosts come to her to go to the light, and she solves mysteries. Her uncle is a cop, her dad is a former cop who owns a bar, so she sometimes works in the bar. She's a private investigator, and she's a Grim Reaper. But some of the little one-liners in here is just making me laugh, so I love it. So, this is going to be short and sweet. What I will probably be picking up to continue on with my Triple RC challenge, and that's the Romance Readers Reading Challenge on Goodreads. And I'll post the links below. And of course, The Chemist is for the hashtag on the booktube shelf. I will be picking up Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, or Simply Irresistible by Jill Shalvis, once I finish First Grave on the Right. So that is probably going to be my reading week. I don't think there's anything else that I need to say. just hope everybody has an awesome week. Let me know down below if you've read any of these and if you like them and what you're reading this week. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, it's me again. I don't know where I've been, but I completely forgot to say all the novellas or little short stories. They're not novellas, they're short stories that I read for the Fallen series. And that's by Lauren Kate. I'm not going to show you them because they don't really have pictures. But what I will do is go over the titles and stuff. So the first one I read was The Perfect Date. That one is between, oh, what's her name now? Daniel and Lucy. I think it's Lucy. I pronounced it Lucy. I hope it is, but it's short for Lucinda. So that should have been, well, there was no number for it. It's but it would definitely be after the first book. The rest are before the first book, but again, I would suggest you going and reading them afterwards because they would give spoilers for stuff that you find out later on in the Fallen book. So The Perfect Date is, I gave it 2 stars, and it was just them on a quick little date. Then I read Daniel's First Sighting, which is 0.1, and I gave that one 3 stars, and it was Daniel's point of view of first meeting Lucy at the school. Then I read Before the Fire, which is 0.2, and I gave it 4 stars. And you find out that Lucy had a job while she was going to the prep school, and she was working with cars. I had no idea. There was nothing in the book that says that she had a job that I could remember. And up to the next story goes into it further. And then it says what happened to Trevor, and I believe that is 0.3. And it tells Lucy's account of what happened, or what she believes to have happened to Trevor that caused her to go to the reform school. I gave that one 4 stars if I didn't say that one. And then there's Daniel in LA, and that is 0.4. And that is Daniel living in LA before he goes to the reform school and how he's brought to the reform school. And then there's Daniel and Gabby's fight, and that is 0.6. And there is a scene in Fallen where Daniel and Gabby are talking, and Lucy hears excuse me, a snippet of it and then leaves because she doesn't want to hear any more. And so you don't get to see what happens to the conversation. This is what happens in that conversation. And then I read Ariane's Day Out, and it's 0.5. And it is Ariane and Roland going out and shopping for little props that they are going to use that you see in Fallen. And it's cute to see them, they're the characters outside of the book. And I gave the last 2 5 stars each. So, yeah, those are all on ebook, or not ebook, they're just on websites that you find out if you click on the story in Goodreads, you'll get a link to where they are. So there's no real covers to them. So that is all that I've read. So let me know if you've read any of them.